What's going on, guys? It is Hicks here from TGN FPS, bringing you guys some Call of Duty Black Ops on Nuketown once again. Today I'm playing with the FAMAS, and I go 93 and 12 at the end, getting a couple helicopters and definitely using my mortars and stuff. But this is a pretty old gameplay. I just kind of found this in my vault laying around, and I decided, you know what, let's get some of these done. And you'll see at the end of the game that I'm only like Prestige 3 or something like that when this video was recorded. But the main thing I want to talk about today, and I love this type of topic, and that is movies. Now, we're more specifically going to go into scary movies, but when I classify a scary movie, it has to be very scary. It literally has to make me have bad dreams or make me think really dark to classify the movie to being a good one. Now, me being as a guy, I think every movie that shows nudity or something within women makes that movie an automatic A+ movie. I know it's a little, if you want to call that, perverted, but any movie that you've probably seen that has had nudity of some sort, whether it's a scary movie or a funny movie, it usually ends up being a pretty decent movie. So I kind of just classify that as being an automatic good movie. But the movies we're going to be talking about that I've been really scared at lately is Paranormal Activity and Paranormal Entity. Now, a lot of people are like, wow, you were scared by that movie? And yeah, I honestly have to say, this is probably the first movie in a really long time that has really, really scared me as much as it has. Now, I personally grew up with scary movies such as Jason, It, Chucky, Tales from the Crypt, and those type of movies really did a number on me as a young kid, starting with Chucky. Now, ever since I saw Chucky, I literally cannot sleep in any room that has dolls, porcelain masks, or anything like on the wall or just sitting around. It's just really creepy. I know when I was younger, we used to go to one of my dad's friend's house, and I would stay the night with his boys and stuff. And they had a playroom, and then they had their bedrooms individually. And inside their bedrooms, they had a doll that had like a baseball bat and a cap, because they were huge into baseball. And they had two beds in each room. So I would sleep on one bed, that he would sleep on the other, of course, but in between was their drawer or their desk with all their clothes and stuff, but on top of it was the doll. And I kid you not, every time I went to sleep and I would turn on my side, I swear that thing was always staring at me, and so it just creeped me out so much that I just went and slept in the playroom because I couldn't handle that, and it was just really creepy. And then my dad's new wife has porcelain masks all over one of the guest bedrooms, and I cannot sleep in that room. It just creeps me out, and it's all thanks to Chucky for doing that to me. But in scary movies, you always usually know who the bad guy is. Like in Jason, you know who the bad guy is. In Chucky, you know what they look like, you know what to expect. And so it seems like over the years with scary movies, I've always been able to know what's going to happen, so it's never scared me. And that's where we come into Paranormal Activity and why this movie is so creepy. Again, if you look back at all scary movies before Paranormal Activity and Paranormal Entity, like Children of the Corn and stuff like that, you know what's coming. I mean, you know the monsters, you know the bad guy, you know he's going to be coming around this corner, he's going to tag you. And in Paranormal Activity, Paranormal Entity, which is basically a ripoff of Paranormal Activity, but it's got a little bit more better things to it than Paranormal Activity. But you have to do the hardest thing and the most crucial thing to yourself to get the full effect and become super scared. Now, in Paranormal Activity, if you guys have not seen it, it's basically this family. I'm going to sum it up as best as I can, but in all three of the movies, you basically learn that these two girls' grandmother was part of this cult that did, demon worships and stuff like that, and were possessed individuals, and they had to basically sacrifice a young son as the offspring of the devil, basically, in a nutshell. And for the first two movies, you learn about the sisters individually. The first movie, you learn about I think the youngest sister, and her life, and how in that whole movie she's with her boyfriend and she ended up basically killing him and herself. In the second movie, you learn about the other sister and her having a baby as a son, being a sacrifice, of course, and knowing how they're trying to survive this demon, or they're trying to figure out what this demon is, but at the same time, what's going on at the house over there is going on at the other sister's house. So basically, when you watch two movies, they're going on at the same time, and you've got the same demon or demons doing all the havoc and killing everyone inside the house. And then the third one goes back to the daughter's past as kids and seeing their mom and dad being killed and them being basically brought up by their grandma and figuring out that they actually have been brainwashed and, you know, enjoying the devil basically. It's a really fucked up movie, I'm not gonna lie, but it's a really good movie. And basically in Paranormal Entity is the same thing, but in Paranormal Entity they already know that there is a demon, you know, haunting the girls and the wife, or the mom and the sister. And this one is, you kind of know who also the demon is. His name is I think Morin, who is the demon of a nightmare, which is the demon who basically gives you nightmares and ends up killing you by raping you. You do see this actually in the movie of him killing her and raping her in the end, and that's where the nudity plays in. So if it's a pretty twisted movie, I know I said that movies are usually good when you see nudity. Even though this movie is pretty twisted, I wasn't, you know, like, oh wow, this movie's awesome because she's naked, because that didn't happen. I was like, that's pretty messed up that they actually showed that. But they show, you know, the whole scene, so it's pretty messed up. But you know, the thing that makes this movie so scary isn't the fact that they're being haunted by a demon. It's the fact that you, as a person, have to force your brain to think of what the entity or the demon is, what he looks like. And, you know, it's going to be different for every person. Personally, me, I'm not saying I have a dark past or anything like that, but I usually am a creative person when it comes to having to think of characters or something. Like when I had to do for like video game design and stuff like that, I always thought of good creative things. And so when I had to force my brain to think of something super evil and disgusting looking, I just, you know, your brain is always going to think of the worst and the scariest of the scariest. And so I think that's why these movies really scared me the most, because I was thinking of the worst of the worst and the scariest of the scariest. But I want to know from you guys, have you guys ever seen these movies? And if so, did they scare you? If not, tell me your reasons down below in the comments. But what kind of movies did you guys grow up with regarding scary movies? Did you grow up with the same ones like Tales of the Crypt, Children of the Corn, Pumpkinhead, It, Jason, Chucky, like I did? Or are you more of the modern people who, I know I really couldn't remember a lot of the modern scary movies because none of them really were scary to me. And so I couldn't really classify them to me personally that they were pretty scary movies until we got up to Paranormal Activity and Paranormal Entity. But yeah, guys, I just want to let you guys share. I wanted to share my views on scary movies, which ones that I grew up with, and how Paranormal Activity and Paranormal Entity have really messed me up. You know, I couldn't sleep for days watching Paranormal Activity 3. I literally could not sleep for 3 or 4 days. I'm not kidding. And each Paranormal Activity 1 and 2, I couldn't sleep for about a day or 2 days. So these movies definitely made me scared for the first time in a while to go to sleep. So I think that's kind of funny. But again, guys, don't forget to like, favorite, and comment on the video. Let me know what you guys think down below. And until next time, guys, it's Hicks here from TGN FPS, and I'll leave you guys with the rest of the gameplay. Peace.